It's crazy, man. I can't. Let's just do this.
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to seven, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
I don't even think that was the right intro. What ain't the right intro? That's the kind of morning it's been. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Today is Friday, October 25th, 2019. That's right. Today is Friday, October 25th, 2019. And what's crazy is today is the very first and very last time it will ever be Friday, October 25th, 2019. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Fair enough? Let's make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. We've got an incredible episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind for you today. My very dear friend Morgan Sommer-Lassa is going to join us, and she is going to inspire you. She's going to motivate you. She's going to educate you, and it's going to be stinking awesome. Before we get into it, though, man, we have had an incredible week here on Hashtag Rise and Grind. We had this entire series where we've been talking about culture, the importance of culture when it comes to what your family life looks like, the importance of culture when it comes to your fitness and your health and how you take care of yourself, the culture that you surround yourself in your business and in your career, the people that you're around and the people whose lives you make an impact on. And then we wrapped it all up yesterday with a beautiful episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind, where we studied the most successful movement maker, empire shaker, the most successful business developer, legacy leaver in the history of all the world, the one and only Jesus himself. And so it's been an incredible week on culture. It's had me thinking a lot. I hope it's had you thinking a lot. Go ahead and drop it in the comments if you've enjoyed this week's episodes of Hashtag Rise and Grind. But now I am excited because we're going to be able to wrap up this incredible week. We're going to wrap it up with this awesome, and I mean over the top awesome human, Morgan Sommer-Lassa. What's interesting is Morgan has been on the calendar to be on our show for, about a month and a half, however long ago that they scheduled her to be on today. And see, I write my shows as they come. Like I write them usually in the morning on Monday morning. I'll, do a little prayer, write the show, and then that's kind of where we go, right? It leads the week. So I had no idea that we were going to be talking about culture the way that we did, and I had no idea that we were going to finish up the way we did yesterday. And now leading into Morgan, I can see the intelligent design that was put together for this week so we could wrap this up with my dear friend Morgan. So without further ado, what we need to do is get her in here. She's waiting in the green room. But before we do, you know what we got to do. That's right. We got to do some dancing. Wow, that's loud in my ear. Is that loud in your ear? Yeah, it is.
Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke.
Sure is. There we go. I always know when we're about to have an incredible show. I always know when we have an incredible guest. I always know when your life is about to be transformed or changed because everything goes crazy. And that's how it's been this morning. Everything's gone a little wild, but we persevere. We push through. We're Hashtag Rise and Grind, baby. You can't hold us down. For those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes for you to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me, whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay. Say what's up. I'll say what's up back. What's up, John Colton Bourne? How you doing, Denny Rust? What's up, Josie Evans? Or maybe, yeah, it should be Josie. What's up, George Fleming? Oh, I see Morgan's in triple places because she's a master, and that's how she does it. What's up, Emily Goffler? What's up? Yeah, there we go. Technical issues. How you doing, Nathaniel Banks, Brad Smith, Leanne Lancaster? Leanne, I hope you enjoyed the Grow Your Business for God's Sake training that we did last night. I know I really did. What are you doing, Christy Kennedy Mendoza? How you doing, Laura Berman, Terrell Lake, Jeremy George, Tim Catton, Don Sankey, Sean Woodward? We got Mike Hubbard up in here. How you doing, Margot? I had Margot crying like a baby last night. Sorry about that, Margot. It was powerful. What's up, Charles Baldwin, Casey Rossiter, Sean Jones? Sean Jones is my man over at Carter Mars Automotive. How you doing, Brandy Downs? Love seeing you up in here. Beth Lucchese, Jen Romano, Cindy Conley, Terry LaPierre, Janelle Diego. Where's my man Josh? Oh! How you doing, Joanna Cooper Hamilton? Wow. How you doing, Terry Collins? Everybody up in here on hashtag Rise and Grind this morning. So check this out. So today starts our 67-day challenge. Just so you know, we're doing the 67-day Thrive Challenge. We have 67 days till the end of the year. It takes 67 days to create a habit, to make or break a habit. And so we're going to start off. I want to make sure that you and I both start off 2020 on the right foot, coming off of a win. So the challenge starts today. We've been talking about it all week. If you have some interest or you have some questions, you want to know more about it, then just go ahead and shoot me a message or type the word Thrive in the comments, because my friend Blair, which is right here, not that other picture I just showed you, my friend Blair will reach out to you. She will reach out to you and tell you all about it. It's going to be super, super exciting. But I bring up Blair and Ryan because they are actually both here in Lexington, Kentucky right now. They were at my house with my kids eating dinner last night. It was a little bit chaotic, but it was awesome. But they were at my house eating dinner last night. They are here in Lexington. I'm going to spend some more time with them today. And what's so interesting is I met Ryan and Blair in Greece, right? Sometimes we have to go all the way on the other side of the world to meet people that are really in your backyard. They live in Florida, but I met them in Greece, and we've become very dear friends. And now that we're very dear friends, here they are hanging out with my kids and all these things here in Lexington. And I tell you, man, this trip to Greece was incredible. I met a bunch of amazing human beings like this person, Kim Wilson. She's also awesome. And she was in our Grow Your Business for God's Sake training last night. And so I got to meet Kim and Ryan and Blair and, Beth and just all of these different people. But there was this one young lady. We were all in Greece. The majority of us were in our 30s. Some of us, like myself, may have been in our 40s, just saying. And there was this one young lady named Morgan that just brought something unique to the table. She brought something really incredible, a special light, a special passion, a special vision. And it wasn't just her, it was a combination of her youth and innocence, but yet at the same time, she was like this fierce, incredible fighter. She's got both sides. And so I'm showing you these two pictures right here because this was Morgan when she first showed up in Greece. And then Morgan got a haircut from this guy, Rob, who Rob does amazing. I mean, he's just absolutely amazing. I can't even tell you. But I got to literally watch this young lady like transform. Like she came in fierce already, but then she transformed from Morgan to like Morgan. And it was this amazing, powerful transformation. So I'm so excited to introduce her to you, and I'm going to do that right now. I don't know if we're going to get that Morgan or that Morgan. We might get all the Morgans. Morgan, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I am good.
You didn't know I was going to drop the pictures on you like that.
No, I've never seen them before, so that's awesome. I think it was a pretty cool haircut for sure. That was you know, like when you go on a trip and you have like a moment and you're like, oh yeah, that's it. Who knew it was gonna come in a haircut? But it was, yeah, that was fun.
You know what, Morgan? Actually, you said right there. You said, you know how you go on a trip and you have like a moment. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's probably a bunch of people that are watching right now that don't know that. They don't.
Yeah,
like they don't. They don't travel a lot. Like you're 24 years old.
Yeah.
And here you were in Greece by yourself. Right? You traveled all the way to Greece by yourself at 24 years old. Like, who does that? Only Morgan, right? What compelled you as a young lady, right? Here's what they say. They say you're too young. They say you're a female, so it's dangerous. You can't go. Right? These are all the things that you do, but yet you hop on a plane, you go all the way to Greece all by yourself so you can invest in yourself and train with some of the best. Like, where does that come from, girl? What is that all about?
Yeah, and I think that's actually a really great question because it's funny, and I guess I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I didn't know if it was going to fit into this morning show, but I think it does, and I think it fits right here in our opening is, for me, there have been so many things in my life that have tried to take me out. And I think that's true for so many people, right? They walk through life, they have these battles, they have these challenges, and honestly, the enemy's trying to take you out, right? The enemy is trying to control you, but God has already saved you. And that's one of the things that I've learned as I've lived, you know, and you're right, I am 24 years old, but I'm 24 and I've got God by my side and he's always had me covered. And he's the reason that I've lived through so many things. And so when every opportunity that's ever been presented to me, I've had this level of faith. And I just don't want to miss out on a life that's right there before me because I truly believe that so many people are too afraid to fully live and walk in the light. And I'm not going to lie, it's not easy to be 24 and a woman, and I'm in all these fields that are typically, you know, male dominated. Sure. But I mean, that doesn't mean I can't do it, right? So like you said, like I might be small, but I'm pretty fierce, like so mighty, right? I've got like a bookmark on. It used to hang in my office at Iowa State University that says literally "mighty but fierce." Don't forget why you started. And I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss my life when every day it could be taken from me.
That's right. I love it. You don't want to miss out on life, and instead of walking in fear, you walk in faith. What a great way to start this morning. Listen, I need you to do me a favor right now. If you haven't hit the share button, you got to do it because the best way that we can honor our guests when they wake up early, when they get themselves, look how nice Morgan looks this morning. She's got the nice backdrop. She's got her hair. She's dressed. She looks wonderful. My guess is she might be a little ahead of how you look right now. Just saying. Just saying. So do her a favor and hit that share button. It's the best thing we can do. Make sure you follow her right here on Facebook. So we got to back up a little bit. We jumped like right in, which is awesome, but I do want to back up a little bit and let them get to know you a little bit better. 24 years old. Where do you live?
I live in Wisconsin. I grew up in Wisconsin, a cheesehead from the dairy state.
I did not know you were in Wisconsin.
I am born and raised. I was in Iowa for about 6 years, and we just moved back in July.
My friend Don Sankey, who's watching right now, and his soon-to-be wife Kelly, they're in Wisconsin. I did not know that that's where you. So small. Is it small town Wisconsin? Big town Wisconsin?
Oh, like the tiniest town. Like it's probably not on a map. So I went to. Okay, let me explain band. Okay. So I went to high school in Medford, Wisconsin. Okay. So I had to go to a different town to go to high school because our town didn't have a high school.
Wow.
Yes. So we don't have stoplights, or I don't know what you guys call them, but we don't have stop and go lights in our town. We've got a couple churches and a post office that's maybe open once a week for an hour. So that's the village of Stetsonville, right? But in the village of Stetsonville, there's this township of Deer Creek, right? Where there's definitely more livestock than there are people, more trees than there are houses. And that's where I grew up, in this township of Deer Creek, where like my family had 100 acres. It was just our house on that 100 acres. And all of my neighbors were of the Amish community. So they all spoke German. They all had these beautiful kids. And I mean, it was literally God's country. I don't know if you've ever heard that song where it talks about God's country, but yeah, we were one of those flyover states for sure.
That's incredible. Your house, 100 acres, a couple of churches. I believe you said the post office is open for an hour a week.
I might have exaggerated, but I feel like it's never open.
Right. I love that. So small town girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Small town girl, but yet you're living out these big time dreams. Your husband is a rodeo master, right? Like you travel around doing that. He's a rodeo master. You've already built and established a business, right? You're crushing it. 2 businesses. You've already built and established 2 businesses. Like, who are you? Okay, we're gonna go a little bit further, but I want to catch one thing real quick before we go down this road where you're just this amazing human being. This is a morning show. We talk about the power of morning routines on this morning show. So I want to know, before I go too far, because I just get excited whenever I talk to you. I want to know, what is Morgan's morning routine? What does it look like for you? Because I know that all successful people have a great routine when they first wake up. They maximize that first power hour, at least, when they first wake up. What's it look like for you?
Yeah, and I think that's a really good question. And for me, my mornings have changed so much as somebody who grew up on a farm, raising animals and caring for other things before we were able to feed and, bathe ourselves. We had to care for other animals. And then somebody who was building businesses and in school and running organizations and things like that. And then now my husband and I are transforming into homeowners, or I don't use the word. I don't know. Making that transition into being homeowners.
Yes,
transitioning. So my mornings have changed quite a bit. Like I've done everything from waking up at 3:30 in the morning to do #Rise and Grind, to waking up at 3:30 to go out and care for a newborn calf, right? And then waking up at 6 to go to a college course. And now my husband is actually working second shift out of town. So now my mornings might look like 9 or 10 a.m. because we have our family time at midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning when he gets home.
Gotcha.
But
So adjusting it to fit the lifestyle, adjusting when you sleep to fit the lifestyle. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
But my point is this: as long as I follow my routine, I know that my days are going to be set up right. And it's interesting because we talked about it yesterday in Grow Your Business for Our God's Sake, that masterclass. And you said, what are the 5 things you do every single day, regardless? And my 5 have been set in stone for the last couple months, and they're really simple, but they're very impactful. And if I don't do them, it's like all, what breaks loose.
That's right.
You're like, I messed it up today.
That's right.
Start over, but it's simple. It's this: I wake up and I pray. Every morning, every day that I get is a gift. So I wake up, I pray, I give thanks to God, and I figure out what is my conversation with Him going to look like today.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I do is my I Choose Joy journal by Danelle Delgado. She's changed my life, so she's become part of every single day that I get to live.
Right.
Gratitude and goals. The third thing that I do is I write. I'm a graduate student. I'm an influencer online. I'm a business owner, so I write content. I write for my thesis. I write for my social media posts, and I write for future things that I will be publishing.
Right.
The fourth thing that I do is I have conversations with people. I truly believe that as a child of God on earth, it's my job and my responsibility to shine my light. And I can't do that if I don't talk to people. And I might be closing them for my businesses. I might just be saying hi or connecting or being a friend or offering prayers. And I might be collaborating, like meeting legends like Glenn Lundy and Danelle Delgado.
Stop it. Stop it. You're too much. You're too much.
Yeah. And then the fifth thing I do every day is I show up on social media, on my stories, on my posts, and on
that.
Like that. Yeah, so those are my 5 things I do every single day. They might not all be in the first hour, but in my first hour, I do make sure my prayers and my I Choose Joy journal for sure.
Yeah, prayer and gratitude.
Absolutely.
I love all of that. And you crush it, dude. Like, are you guys listening to the words that are coming out of this young Wisconsin cheesehead's mouth? Listen to her building businesses, having structure. Like, I know that there are a lot of people that are watching this show right now that you are young enough to be their daughter. They are old enough to be your parent. And they're probably looking right now going, my kid doesn't sound like this. My millennial, right, doesn't sound like this. My millennial's not talking about this powerful forces and routines and building businesses and the conversations and referring to people like John Maxwell. Like,
he is a legend.
He is a legend, and you are a legend as well. So I guess my question for you is, obviously, you know the reputations that millennials have. You know, and you're like on the backside of a millennial, right? And you know the reputation. You get the bad rep. People are always talking about how millennials are lazy and blah 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 blah, all of that. So what's that like as a millennial? What's that like for you? And what do those conversations stir in you?
Yeah, and I think that's a good question, because with any stereotype or judgment, whatever it might be a generation or a race or a religion or anything, there's both ends of the spectrum, right? So you can go from all the way here to all the way over here. But this is what I will challenge you to think as a millennial myself. We're not actually lazy. We're just doing it a little different. And what do I mean by that? I mean, the world is changing. The American dream is changing from somewhere that wanted to grow up, get a job, serve their family, work the 9 to 5, get all the benefits in the 401k, to now people, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Absolutely. Like, my dad and my mom just got their very first 401k in the last year, and they're like raising the roof. Like, they're pumped from farmers to now work in the 9 to 5. But the millennial generation, in my eyes, is something that they don't want to be defined by that box. And they're breaking out of it. Right. And we're noticing that we've got these powerful tools like the internet and Wi-Fi and Instagram. People are getting paid tens to hundreds of millions of dollars to post on Instagram.
Right.
And we've kind of figured out how to do more with less.
Yeah.
And that's how I live my life. You know, I was very impacted by an ad that I seen the other day that said, on average, a spouse that has a family that works, 9 to 5 in corporate America, they spend 37 minutes on average a day with their family.
Wow.
And my husband is not, yes. And my husband and I recently went to a wedding with some people that he went to high school with, that he wrestled with, that were his best friends. And he's asking them, he's like, hey, what have the last 8 years looked like for you?
Right.
And they're like, oh, I'm just, working to make a dime or working to make a living. And we're just like, and Noah, he's so funny. My husband is hilarious. But he goes, you're not doing it right. And it's
all right.
It's so true, because we were gifted a life to live it and not just to die through it. And I just think the millennials are realizing that. They're realizing that they have all of these powerful tools that they can use to their advantage. Now, are there both ends of the spectrum? Absolutely. But I think the American dream is changing to a different world.
I agree 100%. Millennials just like to do more with less, which makes sense, right? Like, why do we have to complicate these things? Why does it have to be a grind? You know, I battle this in my industry all of the time. They're just so, we're just kind of stuck in this is the way we used to do it. This is the way it should be done. This is what it's supposed to look like. You got to grind, 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 and you got to leave the house and you can't come home until the sun goes down and, you know, all of those things. But 37 minutes a day with our families, that's,
It's not right,
it's
right?
not right. It's not right at all. So where do you find all this courage, girl? Like, you're fierce, you're building the business, you're doing all these things. You stand on top of mountains and scream out that you love Jesus, right? You have no problem. You share that in your platforms. You're actually on a mission right now. Part of your mission is helping other people, young people like yourself, inspire them to find that faith that you have and that strength that comes from that. So like, where do you find all this courage? What fuels you to be this passionate, fierce Morgan Sommer-Lassa?
Yeah. And I kind of touched on it a little bit before. Like I said, there's been so many things in my life that wanted to take me out that I'm going to be honest. I've almost quit a couple of times, right? From chronic illness to mental illness to the loss of people in my life that were rocks, not only for me, but for my family, to mistakes that I've made, big mistakes that I've made that I've had to learn from. And it's funny because every time I think I'm at the breaking point, you know, at that ground zero, like this is the lowest I can go, I just have this revelation, and it's God's got you. And that's what I've built my business around. And my courage lies in my God. He created me. And if he wanted to take me out, he would. But it's not up to me to decide when it's my time to be taken out, right? And every breath that I have, I want to make sure that it's serving him. So my courage isn't for me. My businesses, they're not for me. They're not even for my family. Like, do we benefit? Yes. And it's beautiful, but it's my responsibility to serve him, to give what he gave me back. So I'm 24 and I've got God on my side, and God is my courage. He is my strength. He is strong when I am weak. He gives me peace when I feel anxious. He gives me love when I feel unworthy, because all of these things that we feed ourselves simply isn't true.
Right. There's no truth to it at all. I love it. And it comes through, it resonates. You're so pure in your belief. You're so pure in your strength and in your faith. Now there are really there's three sides to Morgan, right? We've got nice, sweet Morgan, right? Just like, hi, I'm Morgan. And then we have fierce Morgan. That's like, yeah, I'm Morgan and I will totally kick your butt at just about anything that if you want to go toe to toe, let's roll, right? So we have sweet Morgan, we have fierce Morgan, and then we have this just God-filled, inspired, passionate, small town girl out there living it, right? Just living life with so much joy. You bring so much to the room. I guess my question for you is there's all these different facets to you. Who is your favorite Morgan? That's what I want to know. Which one's your favorite Morgan? And how do you balance all of this at 24?
Yeah.
How do you know when to turn it on? You got business Morgan, you got fierce Morgan, you got now I need this, and then you got the sweet. There's just so many sides to Morgan. It's amazing. So how do you balance all of that? And who's your favorite? What's your favorite Morgan?
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to have to pick my favorite part of myself
Yes.
today. It's like picking your favorite kid.
Yes.
I don't even have kids, I've got dogs, but I'm I really like this one better, but I'm not going to tell them. No. I honestly think for me, the best side of me comes out when they all act together.
There you go.
And I've noticed this online too. I'll do a video or a post and I'll be sweet and pure but fierce, and to the point where my message is undescribable, right? And you're like, oh, I get it, I hear you. But at the end, you're like, Jesus. Right. Jesus is in there. So I think my best side is all three of them put together. And it's funny that you said I have three sides, because the cross has three parts. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I truly believe that it's not just one gift that makes us special. It's all of them working together. But at the base of things, at my foundation, the God side of Morgan is what drives it all.
Right.
It just depends on what day it is. What kind of message do I need to share? Do I just need to give somebody a hug? Or do I need to kick somebody into gear and say, hey, you've got one life. God gave it to you. What are you doing? Get going. Or do I need to be like, I love you. God's got you. Or come on already. I'm sick of you wasting your gifts. My husband and I go through this a lot.
I bet.
God makes people just for you.
Mm-hmm.
He was made for me. Sometimes he's like,
I love it. And there's so much truth to that. Sometimes they might just need a hug. Yeah. Other times we need a big, swift kick in the rear end. And you're prepared to deliver either one, whatever gets them moving, right?
Sometimes all at once. And part of my job is I'm in the network marketing industry as well. So I've got a team of people. And I've also got clients in my faith-based mastermind. And they just never know. They're like, oh, what's going on today? I have one person.
They're like waiting. Which Morgan are we going to get today?
Yes. We went to a conference last month, September. And there was a speaker on stage, and they were saying something that their upline told them, that they couldn't talk to them anymore if they were going to be negative. They had to be positive. And they said, don't come crying to me, or don't come back to me, or don't call me again unless you have something positive to say. And one of the things, if you know me super well, like my grandma and my mom and my husband, like they make fun of me all the time for saying this. But if somebody says something negative, my immediate rebuttal is say something positive. So my team goes, I feel like that's something you would tell us. Don't call me again unless you have something positive to say. And it's true. Like, I am going to support you, but I can only fight for you so much. God can only fight for you so much unless you're also fighting for yourself.
That's right. It's a two-way street.
And that's one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn. You've had to learn. It's one of the hardest lessons we all have to learn. But Danelle Delgado said it really good last week. Faith without action is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing today to fuel your faith, to fight your fears, to serve your God? Anybody need a hug?
It's 3:30 in the morning in Wisconsin, isn't it?
No, it's 5 a.m.
It's 5 a.m. So you guys are an hour behind. It's 5 a.m.
Yeah, Central time.
We already are overtime. We were supposed to stop like 6 minutes ago, but I'm just having too much fun with you. So for those of you that need to go move on with your morning routine, I love you. Go do that. If you haven't contributed a quote or anything to my for the planner, I'm all distracted. I'm over here in Morgan Land. We have a planner that we release on Black Friday, and my wife needs to fill it with your favorite motivational quotes and your favorite Bible verses. So if you haven't submitted yours yet, please go to riseandgrindplanner.com and do so.
Do it.
Morgan.
Glenn.
Young people are supposed to like have this new age thinking, and God is the universe, and God is, sea turtles and Mother Nature, and
Sea turtle.
there's all types of different beliefs, and I respect people's
Yes.
opportunity I respect everyone's right to have their own beliefs. Totally respect that.
Yes.
You believe in Jesus Christ. That's your belief. And
Yes.
you shout that out fiercely. Now, I know a lot of people that believe in Jesus. I know a lot of people that are very faithful, very devout. They go to church every Sunday. They show up. But yet they are hesitant and afraid to share that on social media because somebody might not like them, or they hesitate, or they're afraid, that it's going to influence their relationships and stuff. But you don't have any of that. Tell us a little bit about your mission and what you're doing and why you do it the way that you do it.
Sure. Yeah. So my mission, my whole business plan, and all that I do, no matter how many businesses I will create in this lifetime, is to show the world that God's got them covered. And so many people are like, God's got me. God's got you. What does that mean? And this is what it means. All miracles happen at the top of a mountain. If you don't believe me, read the best-selling book in the world. It's called the Bible, the Holy Bible. You can find it online. You can find it at Barnes & Noble, wherever you need to find it. You can find it there. Probably Target too. Target is amazing. But anyway, so many people, I forgot what I was saying now. But anyway, what was your question? I forgot. I mentioned Target and I was like, what do I need?
I was just, you're fiercely and boldly proclaiming your faith, and you're creating this mission.
I know. God's got you. Yes. What does that mean?
Yeah.
So all miracles happen at the top of a mountain. But I want you guys to think about the hike it takes to get there. To think about the climb, the ups and the downs, and the tools you need to get to the top of the mountain. Because it's going to be good. It's going to be great. It's going to be dark and cold. It's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be ugly. But through it all, God's got you. He's going before you. He's fighting off the wolves, and he's smoothing out the side of the mountain more than you'll ever know, because that battle you're never going to see, to help you get to the top. He's walking next to you. He's holding your hand, so you never have to take one step without him. So my mission is to show the world that no matter where you are in life, if you're coming from a past that is unthinkable, that you don't even want to talk about, and you're going towards a future that is higher than you've ever been, whatever it is that you want in this life, it's possible because God's got you through it all. In the lowest of the lows and the highest of the highs, through the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. God's got you when you're having your first child, or your second, or your third. He's got you when you're having the fight to get there. He's got you when you're taking that final or writing that thesis that you think's going to take you out, right? He's got you in the darkest of times, but he's also got you in the lightest of times. So that's my mission, is just to show the world that God's got them covered, to help them build a level of faith, to eradicate their fears from taking the next step.
I love it. I love that mission. It's simple, right? God's got you. He's got you. And what I love even more is that you don't just talk the talk. You walk the walk, girl. You're doing all kinds of things. You're traveling all over. You're inspiring people. You've inspired me, made a massive impact in my life. You're building businesses at 24 years old. And I love that you come from a town without a high school. Because it's just a reminder. It just goes to show that God can and will use anyone and everyone if you let him. If you open up your heart to him, if you truly shine your light, it doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter what you've been through, it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter. As soon as you step into it, your true purpose, your true calling, God will take you around the world and he'll connect you with amazing people like Morgan Sommer-Lassa. And I'm so thankful for that. Morgan, before we go, I got to do something real quick. I got to put you on top of that mountain that you just spoke of.
Let's do it.
I got to put you on top of a mountain and all of civilization is around, right? Everybody, and they're cheering like, Morgan, 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 Morgan. And they're just cheering for you, right? And you've got 2 minutes. That's it. You've got 2 minutes to drop some valuable, practical piece of wisdom on them, something they can apply in their lives today, this week, this month, this year. What are you going to tell them?
I'm going to say, stop cheering Morgan. I love it. I love recognition. I want you, I love the sound of my own name, right? But the sound of your own name is literally the most beautiful sound in the world.
That's right.
Also another fact. Yeah. But stop cheering my name and start cheering God's. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Because he is the one that created you. After he created you, he threw out the mold. There's no other person in the world like you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made to do something in this world. He created you to be the wife to the husband to your specific spouse. He created you to be the mom or the father to your specific kids, to do your job, to fill out your gift. So when you start to doubt yourself, I want you to say, not today, Satan. God's got me. He created me for this. And I want you to go out of this world how you came into it, crying for your one and only Father.
Wow.
The one that saved you, the one that created you, and the one that's going to help you live in eternity forever.
So stinking strong. Stop cheering my name and start cheering for Jesus. Morgan. Hashtag, that's what's up. Morgan, you truly are an amazing, amazing human being. Clearly, uniquely made by the God of the universe. The God who made everything made you to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And girl, you're doing it. You're doing it. You're out there. You're living it. You're making these decisions. You're traveling around the world. You're sharing your faith. You're building business so that you can reach and impact more people. All of these decisions that you're making, they're making an impact clearly on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers. And this morning, you've made a massive impact on us, and specifically me. And I, for one, absolutely love you for it, young lady.
Thank you so much. I have to thank you for the impact that you're making as well, for rising and grinding, for going first in your mission. It's divine intervention that we met all the way across the world to where we are right now. And I could not be more grateful for you, my friend. So thank you for all that you do.
Yeah, you're the best. You're so super kind and a bad person at the same time.
I got you.
I love it. Hey, hang out for just a second here in the green room. I'm going to go say goodbye to my friends that are joining us here as we run way late. Wow, that's Morgan. That's Morgan. I told you she was a fireball. I told you would absolutely love her. Do me a favor. Blow her up today. Make sure you follow her on Facebook or Instagram, wherever you want to follow, whichever you prefer. Follow Morgan. She will continue to inspire you. I promise. She's an incredibly inspirational young lady. Look, It's been an incredible week here on hashtag Rise and Grind. I hope that you've learned something. I hope that you'll apply some of these things in your life. I hope that you have been impacted to make a shift. And I also hope that you will join me the next 67 days as we create some new habits and get ready for 2020 by living a healthier lifestyle, getting away from the Red Bulls, the Monster energy drinks, and all of that whatnot. And join me on this challenge for the next 67 days where we thrive. It's going to be absolutely awesome. But here's what I need you to do most importantly. If you need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. If you need some Rise and Grind gear, you go to glennlundy.com. But will you please have an amazing, phenomenal, over-the-top, fantastic weekend, and then come back here Monday morning at 5:30 a.m. because we're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind.